Hey everyone, Micah here with Electrek, and today we're reviewing the Addmotor E53 City Pro commuter electric bike. Come along with me while we take it for a test ride. The E53 City Pro looks like your prototypical Chinese commuter electric bike. It's got that hybrid-style design that adopts a modified hardtail mountain bike setup, yet with adjustable handlebars and a comfortable saddle to put you back in a more relaxed riding position. It also sports a suspension fork with an impressive 100mm of travel up front, which is probably more than most commuters need, but might be nice if you want to take it on some light trails. For most people though, this is going to be a city e-bike for urban commuting, which is really what it's designed for. The specs tend to support that too. It's fairly well spec'd, though isn't exactly a powerhouse. The rear motor puts out a peak of 900 watts, but is still just a 500 watt continuous rated motor, and so this is not a super powerful bike. It will be fine for modest hills, especially with that 7-speed gearing in back though. It's not the best of Shimano's lineup in terms of derailleurs, but it's enough for casual commuter use. The bike gets up to a maximum of 20 miles an hour or 32 kilometers per hour, which is good but not great in my opinion. I'm surely spoiled by my 28 mile per hour Class 3 e-bikes, but Class 2 e-bikes that only go 20 miles per hour still have their place of course. And one of the best advantages of that class is that even with a hand throttle, you can still get good range since you are not flying at breakneck speed. But when it comes to the range on the Addmotor E53, you don't just get good range, but rather great range. That's because the battery is a massive 48 volts and 20 amp hour unit with 960 watt hours of capacity. That's way more than the average commuter e-bike and translates into some seriously long range riding. In throttle only, at top speed, you're going to get around 40 or more miles. Addmotor says if you drop down to 12 miles per hour or 20 kilometers per hour on throttle only, you'll get 90 miles or 140 kilometers. They also say that if you use the lowest power pedal assist, number 1 out of 7 levels, you're going to get a crazy 125 miles or 200 kilometers of range. That's definitely doable if you're sticking in that lowest power mode, but you're going to be crawling along at 8 miles an hour or 13 kilometers per hour, and so 15 hours later when the battery is finally dead, you might just be too from the boredom of going that slow. So when they tell you 125 miles of range, take it with a whole bag of salt. But even so, there's no denying that this is a big battery and will give you more range than most other e-bikes. Even looking past the range though, the bike itself is nicely outfitted for commuting. It checks my big 3 commuter necessities of LED lights, rear rack, and fenders. Each one is quite nice too. The LED lights even include turn signals that you can activate from the handlebar buttons and that show up as blinking icons on the LCD display to let you know when they're on. The blinkers are not terribly noticeable and I'd still probably use hand signals, but it is a cool addition. For the fenders, they're aluminum and thus actually nicely rigid. They don't flop around like a fish as plastic ones often do. And the rear rack is nicely designed too, with a 55 pound or 25 kilo weight rating, which means you can comfortably put a child or other moderately valuable or heavy cargo back there. And with hydraulic disc brakes on 180mm rotors, you can be confident that the bike will stop in time to take care of whatever cargo you have back there, plus yourself too of course. So all in all, I'd say we've got a quite nice e-bike here, especially for the $1,599 price. It's not the lightest e-bike at around 33 kilos or 72 pounds, but if you're not going to be lifting it often, then you probably won't mind the weight. Honestly, the heavier weight and the modest power of the bike combined with the modest top speed are probably the only real downsides to this one in my opinion. The rest of the bike is nicely outfitted as a commuter e-bike with good features and a reasonable price. I mean, what more can you ask for? Thanks for watching everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review of the Addmotor E53 City Pro. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.